Well, those U.S. sanctions are helping to push Iran's government over the edge. According to my next guest, the Islamic Republic government has never been closer to collapse. He's one of the leaders coordinating the resistance to the Iranian regime, and he's coming out of the shadows to unveil a comprehensive roadmap for regime change. Dr. Forough is the chairman of the board and executive director of the New Iran. It's a global non-profit that advocates for peaceful regime change within Iran. And he's also the founder of Iran of Tomorrow project. He's also served as a consultant to the U.S. Armed Forces. Dr. Forough, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for having me today.
Now, you say that sources on the ground tell you that the government has never been closer to collapse. Why do they think that?
Well, there's obviously two aspects. From one side, you can look at all the demonstrations that have been organized by average people. Does not go one day or one night by where you don't have huge demonstrations by regular people due to the corruption of the government, due to high prices, due to lack of water, lack of electricity, bad weather, and on and on and on. But we have our own sources inside the regime that just about every day, every night, we talk to them through our intermediaries in different countries, and they're actually giving us report from inside the Revolutionary Guard and inside the government that things are very shaky. Iran has no money left. Iran's gold reserves are almost basically finishing up. Now they cannot buy any U.S. dollars from overseas. Iran's currency, rial, cannot be exchanged. So basically, as things move on, and so far it's only been 3 days or 4 days since this first round of sanctions against the government and many sectors, we believe by the time November 4th comes, which is will be the next round of sanctions, which will really impact the Islamic regime with selling petrochemical and affects their ports and shipping, it's going to be very, very close. It's going to be an economic collapse of the government.
Dr. Forough, there have been protests before. Iran has been in dire economic straits before. Why do you think it's different this time?
I think in addition to the fact that last time this happened was 7-8 years ago and things have gotten much, much worse since, plus the fact that a lot of people inside Iran were promised by the Islamic Republic government that if the P5+1 agreement with the European and U.S. countries works out, things will be great. Nothing has happened. Things have gotten worse. But I personally think, and a lot of people agree with me, that the major change here is President Trump. President Trump has been finally acting upon a lot of recommendations that people like myself, organizations like myself, for the last 18 years have been asking the Bush administration and then definitely the Obama administration, which made things much, much worse. And now within 18 months, we have seen that because of the fact that President Trump is with the people of Iran and not with the government of Iran, then people are really feeling strong. They believe that they have the moral support at this point, which is all they need, of the U.S. government. We are very hopeful that the Europeans put aside, we believe, their greed for money and transactions, financial transactions, and support the people of Iran.
Right.
We hope that the European countries and EU will stand by the people of Iran and not the mullahs.
Well, so far they haven't, Dr. Forough. Now, because you believe regime change is imminent, you, along with a coalition of anti-regime cells on the ground, have created a roadmap to facilitate a transition to democracy. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. 15 years ago, as you mentioned, when we thought that time, before we actually started working towards accelerating the downfall of the regime, peacefully, of course, we decided to come up with a roadmap for the day after the downfall of the regime. We all know breaking things is easy, fixing things is much harder. So about a few months ago, we have picked up where we left off 15 years ago, the roadmap, and we call this the new work, it's called the first 100 days.
Yeah.
And with the help of a lot of experts from inside Iran and outside, we actually have 21 different areas like security and banking and employee salaries and so on, such that the day after the regime falls, we can prevent as much as possible the potential chaos that's going to happen.
Who would fill in the leadership vacuum? Who is leading the resistance on the ground in Iran or elsewhere that could potentially fill in that leadership vacuum?
Well, obviously, the leaders inside Iran are not necessarily known to us because as soon as somebody has a potential, they're taken to jail and maybe nobody will hear about him before. Outside Iran, there have been and there are numerous, a lot of different people, different organizations have been working hard to actually put together a coalition of opposition. However, the one person that the people inside Iran during the last few months specifically chant his name, and organizations like ours outside Iran actually support him to become the symbol of opposition to get rid of the Islamic Republic is Prince Reza Pehlevi. And I should add that my organization consists of people who are supporters of parliamentary monarchy for the democratic Iran. We also have a lot of supporters that would prefer a republic and some who have not made up their choice yet. However, just about everyone agrees that Prince Reza Pehlevi is the person who is well known throughout the world, and people inside Iran trust him and his family, especially his father and grandfather, to do just for the people of Iran until the Iranian people decide on the type of government they wish to have in a democratic Iran.
Interesting stuff. Dr. Iman Foroughtun, we'll have to have you back to get more analysis on the situation. Appreciate it tonight. Thank you.